Okay, so hi guys, welcome back to another video. This is the interview series where I walk through a medicine interview question to help you have an idea of what to say during the various questions. So this is going to be uploaded, like I said, every other day. So if you enjoy this type of video, make sure you subscribe. And let's get into it. Okay, just a little disclaimer though before I get started. You shouldn't copy these answers. These are just essentially like to give you an idea of what you can say and what interviewers expect, but you don't have to say any of this stuff. And these questions might not come up in your interview, and these answers are just to give you an idea, so you shouldn't copy them like word for word. Okay. So the question today is, what are the causes of aggression or anger or stress in a hospital environment? So obviously either of the three words can be used. So it could be like, what are the causes of aggression in a hospital environment, etc., etc. So yeah. So at this point, if you'd like to just pause the video and go through the question yourself before I get into it. Okay. So the answer, as I said in the past, you always have to start with your most important point and work down to the least important point. Make sure you're not talking too quick or too slow, and make sure that you're speaking fluently, giving eye contact, all of that. And the interviewer will most likely ask a follow-up question or a different type of question afterwards anyway. Good. So the points that I have is I split it into categories. So there's three categories I split into: patients, doctors, and nurses, and the various effects of each one. So patients can be aggressive, which can make a hospital environment stressful, and some of the reasons are the fact that patients can be under the influence of alcohol and drugs, and that can be a major issue because they're not sort of in control. They don't really know what they're doing. They could be in pain, which can obviously cause them to be in a mood that isn't typically happy. They may be frustrated at the waiting times, and I think that it's important that you get a few facts on the waiting times in the UK, and how long waiting times are at the hospital. Also, another point is that nurses and doctors may be refusing a patient what they want. So, for example, because it's not in the best interest. So, for example, a patient might want antibiotics, but they might have a viral infection. Obviously, antibiotics only work against bacterial infections, so there's no point giving them. Or if they want a scan when it won't help with the diagnosis, all of these little things can make a patient frustrated. And so this can make the hospital environment stressful. Also, another reason is that patients may feel that they're not being respected. That's quite a common one. So that's from the patient side. From the doctor's side, doctors can also get stressed for lots of reasons, such as when patients don't listen to medical advice, when they are stressed due to the long working hours that they have, or when they have to when doctors are always sort of worried that they may be making a mistake or something along those lines, and so that worry can build up over time and lead to stress and can create a stressful environment within the hospital itself. So yeah, moving on, then the final one that I have is a nurse, the stress that nurses go through. And my answer for this was personal, based on experience. I spoke about my personal experiences when I went into a dementia ward in the hospital, and I saw that the nurses were very stressed and very upset because they found it difficult to treat their dementia patients and to see them sort of every day. And it was it created a very unhappy environment. And so I think that is also that's a way, that's another way things can become stressful, through like how nurses have to deal with patients a lot of the time, and it can be difficult and overwhelming for them, and that's why they're very important in a hospital environment. But I think it's important for this answer to try to personalize your answer and to try to bring into your own experiences. So are there any experiences in hospital where you've seen patients get angry or doctors get stressed, or have you been in an unhappy sort of situation in hospital where your environment isn't exactly happy and is upsetting or angry, or a stressful environment? Do these exist? Have you got an experience that you can talk about? I think it's important, because it will help personalize your answer and make it different. And obviously your experiences don't have to be work experience. It could be, oh, I was ill, I visited the hospital, I went A&E and I saw all of this, etc., etc. But it's very important that you don't make up your own experience. Even if you don't have any experience, that's also fine, but it's just better if you can try to think about different experiences that you've had in a hospital environment or in life in general, where you've seen stressful situations, and to try to link them in to the various answers. And so, yeah, so like I said, there isn't no right or wrong answer. I think that you should always summarize your answer at the end. Here on the screen is what I've written as a summary, and I sort of made it sound like I have been thinking about these issues, and I have been thinking about the challenges that doctors face, and how I feel that I am ready for them. So I think it's important that you do that and show that as well. Apart from this, there are other questions, that follow-up questions that can be asked. For example, how would a doctor deal with the stress in a hospital environment? How would you deal with the stress of a hospital environment? Things like this. Based on the summary that I've given here, a follow-up question could be about the skills I have developed to deal with the challenges doctors faces. What are these skills? What have I done to develop them? How do I know about the challenges doctors face, etc., etc. So these are just some follow-up questions that they could ask. But apart from that, that's basically the end of this video. Please remember to like if you have enjoyed, comment any questions below and I will be replying to all of them. Comment any questions that you would like me to go through, and make sure that you subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.